Congratulations. What's your reaction on coming to Cincinnati?
Man, I'm ecstatic. I'm excited, speechless to say the least, but if anything, extremely ready to get to work.
What was your impression like when meeting with Al Golden in Cincinnati over the course of the draft process? What was your impression of what you got from them?
Just that they're a team that's hungry. You know, they're a team that has a glass that's half full, and then that wants to, have that cup spill over the top. And that's what they're doing by the draft class they're putting together. So bringing in, great defensive guys to add to the great defense they've already got and to the great team they have overall. You see where they want to be and where they want to get back to who they are. And that identity, remains supreme.
Demetrius, how would you describe your game?
I would describe my game as nasty. I like to say when I'm going out there on the field that I like to hunt, because if I don't hunt, then my family doesn't eat. So I become the hunter out there. Once I say bye to my family and put the helmet on, I switch to that mentality that, okay, now I have to go hunt, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure we come back with a win, to make sure my family and everybody else, which is Cincinnati family now, make sure that we all eat.
What was the key to you picking up the South Carolina defense as fast and as well as you did?
Key was just, being myself. I had already been at 2 different schools, but being able to quickly process things and just switch different lingos was pretty simple and easy, because football is football. It doesn't change. It just has different names and different lingos that people use. So once you switch those around and pretty much reprogram your mind, it all comes back to you pretty quick and pretty fast.
Demetrius, Al Golden talked about your experience as a quarterback earlier in your career. How do you think that helps you play a linebacker position and read from defense?
Yeah, I know what quarterbacks are coming to the line. I know what they're looking at when they come to the line. I know they're looking for safeties, if we're going to show our rotation, if we're going to try to hold it. I know from a man-to-man standpoint or a coverage standpoint, I can make it look like man or I can make it look like zone, just to give the quarterback a different look pre-snap and post-snap, to give him a different read that, make him fall right into our hands. So just giving him different looks and knowing what I'm looking at as I come to the line. I'm looking at the linebacker, I'm looking at the safety, having our communicate to our defense, hold the shell, or me show closer to 3 and then slide back in, just give them different things to mess with their mind.
Why were you so open to making that position switch when you did?
Just because that's what you have to do in this game of football. You don't really, when you play linebacker, you show your versatility by why you can play linebacker. That was not the easiest thing to do, but once the hard work pays off, like it did tonight, and will continue to, it's one of the greatest things that could ever happen.
How important was that year at Charlotte, just from a confidence standpoint, to take reps and get snaps?
Right, that was an extremely important part in my process and my development, just because I never truly played and started at the linebacker position. But being able to do that at Charlotte and, not worry about, I'm playing at a small school, but just knowing that my mindset, I wanted to get the reps. I wanted to get my foot wet, as our coach says, get in there and play the actual linebacker position, find out what my process is, find my routine, and then, continue to better that as you go through the season. And then the same thing at Carolina, and just continue to upgrade with that as you continue to go higher and higher.
From your pre-draft contact with the Bengals, could you sense their interest?
I could. Had a meeting with those guys previously here close to Pro Day. So I had a feeling there was interest. Didn't hear too much from them other than that, but I knew that when it comes to the draft, anything and everything is possible, especially after watching, guys go left and right the first night with, different things, different from mock draft that I was seeing. So that's what I told myself the first night, anything can happen. So just keeping the options open, and glad we ended up in the position that we are.
What went through your mind when you got the call?
Man, just my story. Being a quarterback and going immediately to linebacker and having to transition my body, my mindset, and having my family here, my wife and my son, my daughter, and knowing why I do the things that I do, why I exhaust my body, exhaust my mind, and then reset and still have to be a dad on the back end, be a husband on the back end, and do that to 100% to my best of my ability. If I give my all in the field, I'm gonna give my all to them as well when I'm back at home.
Are you home or are you at a draft party? What was your situation?
We're in Columbia. We're at our facility here in South Carolina.
Demetrius, is it true that you're distant relatives with Aretha Franklin?
That I am. That is true. Yes.
Can you share the backstory there?
Yes. So my great aunt married into the family, so we're kind of connected that way. And sadly, I did not get any of the singing parts. My sister would get that part, but that's okay. I'll stick with sports.
Whose idea was the position change, and when did that occur?
It was my very first day I stepped on the college campus. Coach Collins would take me to the linebackers meeting room right after the first team meeting, and he was like, we're going to have you play linebacker for us. We've got a need, and we think you can do it. Of course, at the time, it sounded like rocket science, and I never thought I'd be playing in the NFL as a linebacker, but here we are. And that just goes to tell you what the Lord can do, keeping your faith in you, trusting God, trusting Jesus, and look where He puts you. Look where He puts you.
A lot of players, Demetrius, in your position are 21, 22 coming into the NFL. You're 25
right.
With, as you just admitted, acknowledged, a lot of different life experiences. How do you think that affects you coming into the NFL?
Yeah, I don't think it affects me too much. I believe it gives me an edge. That I'm telling a lot of guys that's my edge on TV. That's my edge because I have a why. I know other guys, young guys, have whys as well. But my family is my why. That's why I get up and go do what I do. And then being able to play in college for as long as I did, I've seen a good bit of football. So I'm not a guy that the team's going to have to babysit, hold hands with. I'm a guy that they can put in there on day one, day two, wherever they need me, so I can provide for the team and do what's best to put us in a position to win and get on that stage and hold up the trophy.
One of the Bengals starting linebackers has requested a trade. Are you aware of the Jermaine Pratt situation, and what opportunity do you think is going to be waiting for you in Cincinnati?
I was not aware of that. I've just been trying to stay out of the meat as much as possible and let the Lord handle wherever He's going to place me. And I believe that's an opportunity. There's always a mentality of next man up, but also embrace the opportunity. If that's on special teams, if that's starting, if that's backup, if that's third string, you got an opportunity to play. You got to go do your best. I'm going to do that to the best of my ability, whatever they tell me to do. I'm going to do it 100%.
Demetrius, what linebackers did you watch and pay attention to, especially as you were transitioning and switching positions?
Right. Of course, the guys that I would look at were, the Bobby Wagner, guys like, of course, Fred Warner growing up, just as he was continuing to start his career fresh as well. But guys like Mac Wilson, definitely a lot of college guys that I was looking at. Guys like Willie Gay, people like that I was looking at, trying to see how they played the game, how they played it fast, how they truly played the linebacker position fast with no fear. And I wanted to adopt every bit of that because I want to jump in 100% with both feet. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I want to learn it the right way. And I'm going to go look at guys that are doing it the right way in college, are able to do that at the next level, and here we are.
I think that's all we have for you. Congratulations. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the evening.
Congrats to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Demetrius.